Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy new week. Happy Veterans Day. There's so much going on today. I just want to pop on live and chat a little bit about my journey to being nourished and free, how I've kind of changed the way I'm eating and my whole mindset around food. And I just want to share a little bit about that because I haven't really talked about what led me to making those changes and how God has been working on my mindset and my health all in one. I know it's super early where I'm from. I'm in California, so it's like not even 6 a.m. But I thought, let me just do this video now and get it out there because I really want to share this message with you guys and just know that there can be freedom in healthy living, and it's not just following a list of rules and a list of plans and trying to restrict yourself. So I actually started this whole concept of being nourished and free 2 years ago, actually exactly 2 years ago, around this time of year. Because I had felt like I was restricting myself so much. So when I was in my early 20s, I started having some digestive issues. We'll go way back, some digestive issues. And I actually got tested for celiac disease, but was negative for celiac disease. But I felt better eating less gluten. And so I decided to go gluten-free. My doctor said, yes, you probably just have a sensitivity instead of celiac. So I went gluten-free, and then I kind of spiraled down that whole lifestyle of like paleo, cutting out potatoes, cutting out carbs, cutting out all these things until finally about 2 years ago, I was like, this is ridiculous. I cannot function like this. I'm cutting out all of these foods. And as a dietitian, you know, you read research, and there is research supporting a lot of these foods as being inflammatory and not good for your health, but also you also have to take the person into account when you're a dietitian. When I'm counseling my clients, there's research, and then there's like each person is their own body and is, you know, knows their body best. And deep down, I kind of knew that when I got diagnosed with all those sensitivities and like issues in my early 20s, I was in the midst of grad school. I was in a very stressful program for my MPH, and a lot of times stress causes more health issues than anything we put in our mouths. Like stress is the number one cause of health issues. So 2 years ago, I decided to just lift all of the restrictions and really evaluate how I felt. And I actually felt amazing. My binge eating stopped the minute I allowed myself to eat whatever I wanted, because I've talked about this a lot on this page too. I struggle with binge eating, and when I cut out gluten, dairy, potatoes, grains, legumes, hummus, like all of these amazing foods that I love, I ended up being fine with that for a few months, and then binging like crazy. I'd binge at work, I'd binge in my car, I'd binge at home, I'd hide it from my husband, I'd hide it from my parents. It was not a good way to live, and it just made me feel like crap, because it was like, oh, I'm eating perfectly for 3 months, and then I'm binging for 3 months. And it was just so bad for my health, my mental health, my everything, and it caused a ton of anxiety for me. And so 2 years ago, I started this whole Nourished and Free idea. I ran a holiday challenge called Nourished and Free Holiday Challenge, all about nourishing your body, especially during the holiday season, but in a place of freedom, in a place of, you know what? Do you want to know what I had yesterday? I had pizza for lunch. I had a bundt cake from Nothing Bundt Cakes, which is delicious. And then I had a burger and fries for dinner. And I'm fine. I feel fine. I woke up this morning, I'm drinking my coffee, I'm about to work out, because I'm someone that works out every morning, regardless of what I eat the night before, and I move on with my healthy lifestyle. That's where Nourished and Free comes from. And so when I started this 2 years ago, I was feeling amazing. And then I don't know if anyone else is like this, but we tend to compare ourselves to other people, right? And we start doing what other people are doing a lot of the times. And I'm just being honest, I am such a sponge because I'm a people pleaser, and I want people's approval. And so I started getting back into like the gluten-free research and things like that. And I was like, you know what, I should go gluten-free again. But I got pregnant with Emma, and so I just decided to hold off on trying to be gluten-free until the pregnancy passed and everything. And so I had Emma, and then after that, I started eating gluten-free again, and I actually felt great eating gluten-free. I was having a lot of postpartum anxiety, and it helped kind of calm that down. But I also feel like it caused a lot of anxiety as well, because every time we had a social event to go to, or every time I walked into church and saw the donuts there, I was like, oh, I want them, but I can't have them. And there was just always this tug of war in my mind, and it actually caused more anxiety to cut out all these foods that I loved. And I realized that I don't have celiac disease. I was in a really healthy place with food 2 years ago when I started this whole nourished and free concept with myself and my clients. I was in a much better place with food, and mental health, you guys, is more important than anything. So I don't care if you have the perfect body with the perfect abs and you eat 100% clean. If your mental health is going down the toilet, that doesn't mean anything. Like, none of that, clean eating, all of that is garbage compared to where your brain is and where your mindset is. And I felt like I was relying on these food restrictions to heal my anxiety and my depression versus relying on God. And I'm a Christian, and so for me it was like I was making all these other things priority over time spent with God and really digging into why I'm anxious, why I'm feeling this way. I'm pregnant again right now, so hormones just have everything to do with life when you're pregnant. And so my breaking point this time around was about a month ago when we were headed to a family event where I should really not have worried about the food. There was a lot more going on that day than what I was going to eat. And I had a breakdown to my husband in the car because there was going to be bread at this event. The food they had brought in had pita bread, and I love pita bread. I grew up eating pita bread, and I broke down in the car to my husband being like, oh, I don't want to go in. I totally had a panic attack because I didn't want to see the pita bread. And I'm just being completely honest because I know this sounds crazy to people that don't deal with food, but if you deal with food issues, you 100% understand what I'm talking about, right? And so my husband was like, this is not worth it. You're the most anxious I've seen you. Cutting out gluten, cutting out bread, cutting out all these things is not reducing your anxiety. It's actually making things worse. And this family event is something that you should really not be thinking about the food. You should be present with your family right now. This is not something that you should be thinking about. And it totally clicked in my mind all of a sudden. And thank God for husbands who speak truth into your life, because I was just like, this is not the person that I need to be right now. This is not who God wants me to be. An anxious mess about walking into a room with pita bread. And it just totally changed the way I started thinking about food. And God brought back that whole nourished and free concept to me in my mind during my journaling one morning, and was like, you need to go in this direction with your clients. You need to go in this direction with your health. This is what I want for you. I want you to live a healthy life, but in freedom. And I am so thankful that God spoke that into my heart that day, because since he did that, I've been in complete freedom with food. And I've eaten pizza every day this past weekend, and I feel fine. And I had pizza plus salad, because that's where the nourishment comes in, right? You get some greens in, you get some veggies in, you eat some fruit, some lean protein, things like that. And then the pizza, the cupcakes, the cookies, whatever it is, it all balances out in your health, because health is not something that day to day affects you. One weekend of pizza eating is not going to cause you to be obese in 10 years. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, food impacts our health. I'm a dietitian. I read research. I know how food impacts our health, and I'm 100% supporter of healthy eating and whole foods. But there is that place of freedom with food that you need to be able to have that moderation. You need to be able to have those treats once in a while, or you'll go the opposite extreme. This is a great example I heard a couple weeks ago. Emma didn't even know what our cell phones were until one day she saw the cell phone, and I went, oh, I hid it behind my back. And then she was like, oh, I want that. I hid it behind my back, and it's all she's wanted since that day, is to play with my cell phone, to the point where she's made accidental calls, changed settings. I don't even know how she knows how to do this, but it's because I hid it from her that day. So the more we hide things from ourselves and restrict things from our lives, the worse it's going to be for our health. I've gone into events now in the past month that I tell myself, you can eat whatever you want. And I end up leaving, not eating the cookie, not eating the ice cream, not eating the chips, because I got full from the real food. And I'm really starting to listen to my body, actually, instead of just what's going on up here and what my brain is telling me about what I can and cannot have. And it's such a place of freedom that I found. It's an amazing place that I've been at. And I want that for all of... Oh. That's weird. I just heard something. I want that for all of you guys. I want my clients to have freedom with food. The emails that I get that hurt my heart are like, oh, I messed up again. I feel like such a bad person. Food is not a moral issue. Food is food. Let's leave food where it belongs. It's food. You know what we should have a relationship with? People. our husbands, our kids, our moms, our dads, our brothers, our sisters. That's who we should be in relationship with. We shouldn't even be in a relationship with food. Food is just food. We should know how to nourish our bodies in the best way we can. We should allow ourselves those treats from time to time because that's good for our souls and our mental health. And we should move on with what God has actually called us to do on this earth, is to live in freedom in Him. So that's where this whole Nourished and Free community started from. Started 2 years ago. I got sidetracked again with just wanting to live a perfect life. You know, I'm a perfectionist. I'm a people pleaser. It kind of comes with the territory sometimes, but I'm so glad that God has called me back to this place of freedom with food and my health. And I want that for all of you guys. So I had actually decided to close enrollment for the Nourished and Free community, my VIP online it's a subscription-based community, so it's $19 a month, and you get meal planning tips. You get a whole meal planning guide. It's like a 20-page guide of how to plan your meals. We do like challenges every other week. We actually just started a 10-day challenge this week. Today is the first day. At the end of it, there's like a $10 Amazon gift card for the winner, and so we do challenges, there's recipes, we do check-ins, and it's just a group coaching kind of community where I'm focusing on teaching these women how to nourish their bodies and live a healthy life and reach their health goals, but in a place of freedom and not in a place of deprivation and restriction. So I had decided to close that group's enrollment yesterday, but I'm leaving it open for today. So one more day since it's Monday and a holiday. And I just wanted to share where I've come from a place of restriction and deep depression and anxiety to a place of freedom with food. And I want that for all of you guys too, because I get so many messages, you guys, on a weekly basis of, oh, I was paleo for 3 months and now I'm binging and I can't stop. Me too. I've done that about 10 cycles. So I know how that feels, and I know that there's a way to get out of it. So if you want to join that Nourished and Free community and get this kind of coaching and get on your way of being nourished and free, check out the link in my bio. It's right there. You just click on it and then you press the join button and you can sign up at the bottom of that page. It's a blog post that I wrote all about the community, and you can sign up at the bottom of that page. Message me if you have questions about it. It's something that I'm so passionate about to get this message out there, because I was so tired of living that way, and I know there's people out there that are tired of it too. So anyways, I just thought I'd pop on and share that this morning. I'm going to go finish up my coffee and my quiet time, do my workout, and then just get on with this day. So I hope you guys are all having a great day. Thank you for listening. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you want to join the community, or if you have any questions about that. I'm here for you. And I hope you guys have a great Monday. Bye.